Hi everybody, welcome back to the Our Smiling Faces podcast, brought to you by GEORDIE Gifts and Guillermo Clothing.
I think we should get Deka to say that.
We're going to need
So Deka's turned up a little bit worse for we, haven't you, mate?
I've been at the cricket all day. I get there before you did. I'm wangered. I'm sorry,
Oh my god. There's 10 seconds and he's swearing.
Makes a difference from being a wanker. We'll be able to see anything we like doing today. We'll not even care.
I am very, very worse for wear this evening.
Sounds like a character from Harry Enfield down it. Very, very drunk.
So we might need subtitles, so I recommend you put the subtitles on this one.
Hey, for a Monday, this is good form.
Can you imagine what the YouTube subtitles are going to come up with for this?
Oh, God,
Jesus, they're bad enough when we're sober. We lost you now.
Oh, I lost you now.
So anyway, yeah, we're here to talk about that absolutely dreadful heap of 90 minutes that we all witnessed on Saturday.
Was it that good, was it?
Oh, man. Like, we all expected a pretty horrendous game, didn't we? Going into it.
We said it, didn't we? We said.
I think we all said it's going to be a dire game, and I think you said Newcastle win.
No, I said
Oh,
lose.
you said draw. 1-1.
No, I said lose.
I think that's
No, you said draw.
I think I said we'd lose 2-1. Did I say draw?
You said draw, I said lose.
I thought you said
I
draw.
said loss.
Oh, did you say... No, you said draw.
I didn't like
You did. You said draw, he said lose, he said win, and I said win.
I'm pretty sure I said we'd get beat.
Can I just say one thing, right? I said we'd win. I didn't realise we'd have half the fucking nation out. I didn't realise that would have bloody Miggy out. I knew Saint was out, of course.
Saint was out, aye.
But I didn't realise Shelby would be out.
Miggy and Shelby were late ones, weren't they?
That
wasn't
big
to be
issues.
expected.
That's big issues for us. And I hear Sky crying about Man City having a few players out. Right, they're the best team in the fucking world, man. If we've got 4 players out, we're struggling, right? Are we struggling, eh?
100%, right?
We're struggling, right? We've got Atsu coming in for Miggy, man. No way, man. Come on. We're moving a striker out left. We're bringing a striker.
Remember when Deka said we had strength and depth at the start of the season?
We do in midfield.
In defence we've got strength and depth. But it's difficult. Any team that any team that loses 4 players is in big trouble. And we're in big trouble. We lost 5 if you include ourselves. I could be wrong there, but do you know what I mean? We've lost a lot of top players.
So we starting 11 going in was obviously Dubravka in goal, Manquillo kept his place at right back. Then you had the usual.
Rightly so.
You had Fernandes, Dummett in there. Fabian was in there starting. Willems keeps his place at left back. Fabian.
That's the back 6 that you would have expected, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
With injuries, with injuries.
It's the back 6 that had started against Sheffield United, wasn't it? I think. Did Yedlin start that game?
Nah, Yedlin hasn't played for a few weeks now, has he?
Villa might be in his last game.
Then obviously in midfield you had Longstaff coming in, Hayden there keeping his spot, Atsu on the right, Joelinton on move to the left, and Andy Carroll up top. So we said on the podcast that now this is going to be Atsu's chance to get a few games behind him, and obviously
he was out of position though, wasn't he? Playing on the right hand side a lot of the time.
That's where he plays, man. Cuts in. Huh? He cuts in. Yeah.
I'm sure that's the first time Atsu's played on the right for us. Like,
there's a goal he scored in the Championship. I think it might have been someone away
1983.
from home. Well, he didn't play for him. There was someone in the Championship. He cut in from the right hand side and bent one in the corner. Beautiful goal. He's more than capable of playing on the right hand side.
But he doesn't often play there. He's always played.
I didn't care if you put
9
left
times out
back,
of 10.
centre half, goalkeeper. I'm expecting better than what I've seen on Saturday. Personally, he was absolutely awful.
I must admit, until I listened to the Chronicle podcast this afternoon, I've got he played.
Right,
There's nothing stuck out. I can't remember.
There's one thing that stuck out for me, but we'll get on that in a little bit. There's one thing, but first couple of minutes, Carroll has a decent chance.
Good
he
chance
does really
on,
well. He gets in front of the defender last minute. He sneaks in there. How's he not hit the target with that?
Well,
could have been a very different game, couldn't
absolutely spot on. I mean, there's people on there, not mentioning any names, but saying about 0 shots on target. Carroll has to be hitting the target there within 6 minutes. Would you say? He has to be hitting the target. That's nobody's fault but Carroll's, in my opinion.
It's one of those things where the last few games have been really similar, where that's the kind of thing games are swayed on. They took the chances against Sheffield United, against Man City, and they were tighter defensively. I mean, the game on Saturday, if it wasn't for dodgiest, we'll get there later on, I suppose. But the margins are so slight. And for me, a week ago that goes in, or next week it goes in, finishes 1-0 Newcastle. It's just it's so there's nothing in the games at the minute.
No.
Well, that early, if you get ahead there, that means they've either got to come out and have a go for you, or it gives you a bit of confidence just to relax in the game and then grow into it and either play we want to do, hit them on the counter attack if they're needing to get back into it and stuff like that. But
it was always going to be first goal wins out, wasn't it? Like how bad the game was panning out.
I think as it went on, it was that way, wasn't it? It was just really very, very scrappy, wasn't it?
Shitty weather. The ball spent most of the time in the air.
Yeah.
But that's what you expect with Burnley, though, isn't it? It's same as like Stoke when they were up
I think
as well.
we had about 59 fouls in the first half from both sides. Yeah. Not just Burnley, both sides.
Joe Linton he got booked for one that was identical to what somebody did like a minute earlier. I was watching it on a stream, not at my house. And I was convinced that it just buffered, and I was watching the same thing again.
Yeah.
Literally within a minute, exactly the same foul, and he got booked for the second one.
Aye.
And maybe he's a little bit unlucky, but because it looked like his foot kind of rolled over the ball.
He could flip it up that way and think, different day, the referee could probably give 2 yellows for it.
Oh,
he's a good referee, him though, generally.
Bollocks.
What?
Generally. I'm not saying this particular game.
It was his first Premier League game, wasn't it?
Aye.
He watched
Was
the Championship.
No, I'm thinking of obviously it's a completely different referee.
This was his first Premier League game because there's a lot of criticism saying why he's gone.
Who? I thought. Was it? I thought it was
100%.
What's it called?
Steve Bruce criticised him saying it's not for first game shouldn't be something that's going to be physical. Is that what game was it?
But I mean,
I think if a referee's good for the Premier League, you can give him any game. Really,
he might say that it shouldn't be if it's his first Premier League game. I mean, what game are you going to give him? That was a Championship standard of football.
That's a good point.
Perhaps
Actually,
League One.
Yeah, it's a proper game where it's not going to be in the headlines for any reason.
No.
It's not like a derby. It's not like a massive game that's challenging for a title or Champions League spot. It's basically 2 shit teams.
It was, and I'm going to be honest here. Right? I watched the game, right, and I honestly thought at least at times we were trying to play football. We had it on the bottom. I think we had more possession. Is that the first
time?
Did I? Is this the first time?
We lost.
See, possession does not win you games of football.
We tried. I mean, we were passing it around. I thought we were trying our best to keep it on the floor as best we could. Every single time them got the ball, bang.
It makes a difference when you've got like Longstaff, because Longstaff seemed to sit a bit deeper for me and allowed like Hayden to push on a little bit more, and then you had Joe Linton out the left and Atsu out on the right, which meant like them two do want to keep the ball down on the floor and play. Having Longstaff in there alongside Hayden allowed them two to play football a bit more as well. It wasn't just being relied on Shelby to hit passes and find range and stuff like that.
I think losing St Maximin and Almiron meant you couldn't just rely on a counter attack either. No. Which is normally they'd sit back, let the opponent have the ball, and then just break. Whereas with like Atsu, Joel and Carroll, I mean, it's not Atsu's not slow exactly, but it's not a really rapid.
It's more of a laboured build up, isn't it? And more passing rather than just get at them and run at them. That's it makes a mockery though of what people have said, that Almiron and St Maximin bring nothing to the team.
When you realise what Almiron actually brings to the team when he's not in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. What I want to mention, obviously we mentioned Atsu there, is I think Joe Linton gets a ball on the left hand side and he plays Atsu through. Atsu just needs to hit it first time.
Carroll.
Was it Carroll that puts him through?
Carroll, fantastic control in his chest and plays Atsu, as you say, plays Atsu in.
And Atsu does a step over and goes back over.
I've got no idea what he's doing.
And I know it's his wrong foot, but you hit that.
Just toe punting or something.
You can see the goal. You hit that.
We know what he's like. He doesn't shoot very often anyway, does he?
But when you're there, you need to shoot. You need to.
I think it's just systematically everybody is devoid of confidence in front of goal, because there's this pressure on everybody to score goals, and it's almost as if people are worried to do it.
But you think Atsu, like I said at the start of this, Atsu coming in the game, you'd think that he had a point to prove.
Yeah.
Especially the way he was playing at the start of the season.
And when he's been coming on as a sub, he's looked alright. He's looked pretty impressive at times. He hasn't looked fantastic by all means, but he's looked alright. Then that was his chance where, in no situation do you do a step over there. Like, not any. If that had been Joe Linton doing that, or Almiron doing that, would be gone down the necks.
I don't even know, like, was he trying to give himself a bit more time or space
probably.
Or what? It's
dreadful. It's dreadful, isn't it? It's surprising. It's dreadful.
How do you think Joe done on the left?
I thought it was as lacklustre as ever, to be honest with you. you might have a bit more time on the ball because obviously you haven't got as many people on you. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to, what's the word, like, see St. Maximin or anything, but come on, like, you think of the difference of quality on that side of the field when Saint's on. I mean, Joe never beat a man all
It's like comparing apples and pears, that though, isn't it?
Well, crack on apples and pears, because for me, he just back the goal, pass back every single time he got it. There's no fire in him for me.
Where do you play him?
Bench?
Because he's not a clinical. Like what I was going to say, like Dwight Gale, but Championship Gale maybe.
We'll get on to Gale later on as well.
The thing is he was tidy, he was comfortable on the ball, had time to pass it around and stuff like that, but he's not a winger.
Well, what is he?
That's the thing, isn't he? He's
not a number 9. He's not a fucking winger. What is he? He can't even.
He's a link-up player, isn't he? He's an attacking midfielder.
Where when we had the front three and we didn't know really where to play them. So Cisse, Bar and Ben Arthur.
Well, we struggled there.
And I think Bar got shifted out on the left, didn't he, at one point?
Even like you could go to say like someone like Sam De Jong or Luke De Jong, either of the De Jongs, like both of them were there and didn't get used like you'd think they should have done.
Well, this Luke De Jong is a striker, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
he got played on the left.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He wasn't never played up front.
Oh, at a point where we've got all these players and we don't know where to play them now, up top.
Well, we've bought Joe Linton as a striker and a number 9, and he's not.
I don't think it's just one player. There's one player. When our Saint plays, when our Mickey plays.
So we're just trying to force him in any
You're trying to fit.
And I'm struggling to see where he plays. I don't know what he does, me. I'm sorry.
He's a square peg going into a round hole, isn't he? Putting him either. He's not a left winger. He's a left forward. That's where he played his role. So you cannot just stick him out there on there. If you're going to play him left side, you've got to bring him and play narrower.
It feels a bit like even John Dal Thomason. When he was signed to kind of be Shearer's kind of foil almost. Shearer got injured, so they put him up front. He
played him up front,
couldn't do it. It feels a little bit like that, where they're trying to make it something that he's not. He might move on and go to, I don't know, Watford and do a really good job there because he's playing with Troy Deeney or something like. Yeah, that fucking a club and a player off the top of your head there. Like, but something like that could work for him, where he's playing with someone who's just a finisher, and he's there to kind of like Perez, kind of like that kind of player. I've heard it said earlier in the season.
And that's the thing, when you looked at Perez never played out on the right wing.
Did you say Perez?
He played either just off or to the right of Rondon, didn't he? I mean, this is what we're being saying, even with Almiron and St. Maximin in the team.
Yeah.
Is the need to get in narrower towards Joe Linton to give him some support if he's playing up there by himself. Yes, St. Maximin can play out wide left and be a winger because he's got that in him, because he's got the pace, he's got the trickery to be able to do that. Miggy's struggling out on the right. So it's the same kind of idea, but he's got the pace and the work to get him out of it on the right-hand side. Joe Linton hasn't got that pace. He hasn't got that burst of energy.
So in hindsight
or trickery.
now,
you just squeeze them in.
What would you have changed in regards to formation or people on the pitch? Would you have changed, drop someone to have 2 up top, maybe Carroll and Joe Linton as a front 2, 10 and a 9?
It's a difficult one to say, because you want, the way we're set up, we do put we're left side and we're right side out wide instead of just bringing that little bit narrower in the middle. You look at the likes of Liverpool's front 3. Their front 3 don't play with 1 in the middle and 2 out wide. They'll play like kind of on the old-fashioned inside left and inside right, edges of the box kind of area.
That's the best team in the fucking country, man.
Similar positions though, and similar front 3. That's all you've got to do. Just bring them in. Narrow your pitch a little bit, and then that, as we've said as well, frees up your wing backs to get up and support.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that. I don't know.
For me, Yatsu should be playing on the left, but you've then got nobody to play on the right.
I just do not see enough of, I don't know, a commitment from him. I just don't see it.
He is obviously very low on confidence.
Perhaps he is. A lot again was just back to goal, just passing it back.
We've got a few questions on Joe Linton.
I never seen him physically try and turn and beat a man in the full.
That's because he's not that type of player.
What is he then? He doesn't.
I've just sat there for 5 minutes and told you.
Well, you said I didn't have a good enough answer. He doesn't. Apparently, he's not number 9, so he's not a target man. So that means he can't hold the ball up. Apparently, he's not a target man. Everyone says he's not a target man.
He's not. He does his best to try to do that.
He's not a target man. He can't hold the ball up. He can't header.
Are we really getting back onto this can't header long, are we?
If he's not a target man, you're saying you have just said he's not a target man. So what's a target man? Tell us what a target man is. What's the target man?
Is Andy Carroll a target man?
Andy
Yes.
Carroll's a target man, isn't he?
Hey, Rondon was no one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rondo
They hold the ball
kind of.
and they can win it in the air. And you're saying he's not that. Apparently, you've just said it.
No, great, he's probably not that. No.
Right. So, can he turn and beat a man and run at someone? You just said no. I've just asked you the question. He said no.
Well, he can, but not at any great pace.
Yeah, I'm
We're
not.
struggling.
Did
there.
it against
We're
Spurs
struggling.
and scored a goal.
We're struggling there.
I'm not putting them on par with each other, but do you think he's similar sort of player to Cisse? Cisse wasn't. a
Cisse
target
had
man.
that, yeah, but Cisse had a turn of pace, didn't he?
I wouldn't say
He wasn't the fastest, but he could shift.
Cisse, particularly in that first 6 months, would just shoot from everywhere.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Cisse was one of those ones where if he had the ball 30 yards out and just had to have a shot, you knew something was going to happen. If he was one-on-one with the keeper with the ball at his feet and he had to dribble at him, you knew nothing. He wasn't going to score.
Yeah.
He would
Instinctive
overthink it.
sort
He
of
would,
thing.
yeah.
What I will say last
That's
time-
just again, isn't it?
It is
Having the
confidence,
confidence
yeah,
to just think, I'm just going to hit it.
You can argue Joe Linton is a bit of a target man, but not one who finishes. You could play the ball to him. I think you can hold it up and you can win the ball in the air, but you need.
He needs somebody next
Go
to
back
him.
to what you've been saying about.
He needs somebody next to
want
him.
a striker playing off him who's got a bit about him. It's the old kind of target man, little man thing.
Sticks with
Quinton
me like
Phillips
Craig Bellamy alongside
Bellamy
him.
Shearer, yeah.
I don't think he'd do very well now.
No, but like, I wouldn't know.
January's coming up, you know. I know.
But you know, he was that like typical, just busy in and around, looking for any little scraps. If there was a little flick on or a chest off or something like that, he'd be there. He was Shearer's legs when Shearer didn't have any.
Right, moving on from Joe Linton because we're spending too much time. We've got loads of questions for the question and answer about him. So I want to talk a little about Sean Longstaff. I think we've all said we're massive fans of both Longstaffs on this one. He struggled at times this season. Saturday was probably another one where he can't even beat the first man from set pieces.
Yeah.
There's that one point where Andy Carroll is screaming at him from a corner because the ball hits off the first man, goes out for another corner, then Longstaff just bottles the second one, he plays a short pass. How professional footballers need to be beating the first man.
How often do you see it though?
They have to.
We've had trouble with that for years.
Richie used to do it all the time as well, didn't
Going
he?
back to like Lauren Robert, he would always hit the first man. Like,
It's strange, isn't it?
It's bizarre.
Strange, especially when you got a player like Andy Carroll, and he's going to hover around the back post 9 out of 10 times when he gets a set piece, and we can't even get it past the first man.
It's strange because he can hit the ball so well from like shooting and stuff like that, and you'd think it would be easier to have a still ball and just put your boots through it and get it in there. I don't know whether he's just by trying to loft it up and try and direct it, that's what's not getting him enough power through it, or what.
A couple of things. First of all, to be fair, first of all, coming into the season, there was a lot of pressure on him. I think we're Man United, 50 million.
Yeah.
He got injured, correct? Yeah. He got injured, bad injury. He's come back. He had a couple of games
Suspended.
then got sent off.
Yeah.
So the guy cannot be 100% match fit.
Oh, he's
Can't be.
nowhere near. No.
Second of all, he's very young. So you're going to have, with young players, look at Man United for example, young players, you're going to have the games where they look absolutely invincible, and then there'll be games when they're poor. And I think when you're playing in a team like we are, you're going to be poor more often than not, unfortunately. But the one thing I cannot abide by is set pieces. If you've got a standing ball from a corner and you kind of put it up, well, there's something wrong. I don't know if that's because he's trying to whip the ball, and that's why it's going to the front man. If you just try and stand it up, that's easy. Anyone can just stand it up. But he's trying to, put that sort of bend on it, that bit of whip on it.
That's what takes the power out of it, isn't it?
That's unacceptable. It's
At
unacceptable.
what point do we start letting age take on Joe though? Because Joe Linton's only a year older than Longstaff.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Same maximum, innit? He's.
Fair enough.
They're all young lads.
They're all young
so
lads.
I would say
But
early
they've
20s.
They've still got a lot more games than he has.
But you would say early 20s. Really, you're physically.
Has he played 20 first team games though?
He probably hasn't, and that's
Probably not.
that's-
He's probably-
Has he been on loan anyway?
No.
Did he go to Scotland?
No, I got pulled in.
Why did he go to Blackpool or something years ago? I'm talking really young.
I know he done when he was got interviewed by 5 Live at the start of the season when Bruce first took over. They're doing a lot of interviews, and he was saying that Longstaff was ready.
That's
to,
County. Did he not go?
No, it was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, someone else. They're saying Longstaff was ready to go to somewhere. I can't remember where. Was all done and dusted. Saying,
Oh, and then
tomorrow
Rafa
you're
said
gonna
you're
be
not going,
blah,
didn't
blah.
he?
Rafa was
Yeah.
Someone got. I can't remember what happened.
Got
Someone
an injury,
injured or
didn't he?
something.
And he had to stay.
It might be Shelby. Someone got an injury and he said, "You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're back in the team."
So that's you've got to take into that account as well. He hasn't played a huge amount of games.
What I see all the time, and it really, really gets to us, honestly, it does, right, is the second I see a bit of pressure come from the opposition in midfield, we'll go backwards. Hayden's the same, and Longstaff was the same. The second we get the ball and we turn, have a look, as soon as there's a bit of pressure, go back to the centre half. And you know where it's going then, it's going to go back to the goalkeeper and it's going wrong. Yeah. We haven't got anyone that is willing to just take a few seconds on the ball and there's a bit of pressure coming towards it. And I'm sorry, at this level, you're fucked. If you haven't got a player that's willing to put your foot on the ball.
We did try at one point. Longstaff got it and he tried it too.
Well, he did, but he didn't even see him.
Nah,
he didn't
just turn into
again, you give him a couple of games though to get his feet back under the table and get a bit more comfortable on the ball and stuff like that. You're not going to have that issue. Look at him when you've put him in against Chelsea. He was the best midfielder on the park last season when he played against them.
I've said this for weeks now and I'm sick of saying it. I'm worried when we'll have two in midfield, right? Hayden, just everyone, I know everyone likes him, right? But if you've got two in midfield, right, you're basically saying Hayden's going to be the person that just smashes everybody, right? Wins the ball back. So that means I believe that your second midfielder, you are expecting him to just run the show.
But it was the other way around for most of the time on Saturday, wasn't it?
That is not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. In this level, you are not, unless you're De Bruyne, you're not going to have one midfielder that plays for us that's going to be to dictate the entire game in midfield. Because Hayden doesn't do it. I'm sorry, he doesn't. I don't care what anyone says. He might work hard, he might tackle someone, he might pass fucking five. One thing that annoys us with him, he'll come running back 100 yards, scream at a defender, give us it. He gets the ball and passes straight back. He gives it straight back to the player just fucking giving it.
Let's keep possession.
But I didn't give a shit. I'm sorry, like everyone must have seen that. He runs all the way back, gets it, bang, straight back to you. So Hayden's giving you nout, pretty much. It's
very negative tonight, isn't it?
He'll work hard, but that means you're asking your other midfielder to completely dictate play.
I think Hayden's probably your steady player, isn't he? Where he's going to be at 6-7 most weeks, where he's probably going to go unnoticed.
He's there just as you say to do a job to get the ball, make things easier, tidy things up.
Let's go straight to their goal. Right, so the ball comes in.
There's a foul before the corner.
So yeah, there's a foul.
I thought it was.
Yeah,
it's one of those when it looks like Fernandes kind of looks for it a little bit.
But you normally get it.
They always get given.
Yeah.
It looks like a foul to me. Like.
You normally get it. But obviously the ball comes in. A lot of people are blaming Dubravka, saying that he should deal with that better.
He gets blocked a bit. Like,
is that ball just put in a really good place?
It's a very good delivery. He's blocked by
Hayden and
their other striker, isn't it?
Stones,
isn't it?
You're part of the union.
I think your keeper's got to do better there. The commentator, when I was watching, said, you can see Burnley have loaded the 60-yard box. Something like 4 players in the 60-yard box. So each one marks, obviously, like double the attendees, if you want to call them, double the occupancy in the 60-yard box there. For me, and I've not quite played at that level that Dubravka's at now.
Close, mate.
Business houses league like that.
Aye, close.
Championship.
If the ball's coming over like that and it's blocks the box, stay in the line. Like if it gets, I don't know. It's dipping at the back post. So
I think if you
leave the ball there, I think
even if he stays on his line, he's not getting that.
That ball is dropped, I believe, about 2 or 3 foot from the line.
Yeah.
In the 6-yard box. I'm sorry. I'm expecting my goalkeeper to do better, and I'm not. Dubravka's fantastic. He's been amazing for months and years, and I love him to bits. I'll let him shag me last if he wants. But I am sorry, if a corner's coming in and it's literally landing 2 feet from the line, I'm expecting the keeper to be there.
You see he got blocked, but he did get blocked a little bit by the two. But he should be stood at the back post to start with for me.
You got to follow the
because I think if a corner's coming in,
I honestly think
the back post, you can see what's happening.
The delivery of that corner
is
is fantastic.
It's a great ball in
the way because
it drops in it.
I think even though he gets blocked, it seems to be really, really high coming over the centre where he is, and he's there, and then all of a sudden just drops out of the sky, and they've got 2 players at the back
and
post.
I think it's
and Shea gets
in late after it and
bodged into the back of the net, doesn't he? But
I thought it was a foul on Shea. Actually,
there's 2 of them going for that, but I can see what that people are saying, but I think it's harsh on Dubravka because it's in an awkward position. You want him to be commanding the centre of his goal for a coming like that. Yes, I get you saying start at the back so you can come out and something like that, but it's a very, very difficult corner.
Well, he's got to be clever
to stop or to defend.
Goalkeeper and look for the foul. Because remember when Kevin Nolan used to do that, goalkeepers used to go and stand on the goalkeeper.
I'd say that Willie Bolly tried to pull his head off it more than you last season.
True, he didn't get nothing. That is true.
Do you think Dubravka would be a bit disappointed by that?
I don't think he would be.
I do.
Because I do.
If the ball's getting that close to your goal, you as a goalkeeper, you would probably
I think when he's going up for it, he's nowhere near it.
Well, that's his fault.
Is that position though?
I think it's the height of the actual, or the way the ball comes in, rather than him not like missing it or something like that. Because it goes over him and then behind him.
So later on, obviously Dubravka, if he has that fault for that one, he redeems himself. So I think it's a Longstaff one where Longstaff tries to turn,
poor finish,
through on goal. It's 1-on-1 in it. Then Dubravka, fantastic.
Yeah.
Once again.
Brilliant.
He's a that keeper anyway. He's going to make mistakes, of course he is, but he's going to drag you into that game.
He's saved with more times than he's cost with.
Definitely. Absolutely agree, yes. And in fairness, in that game, he didn't have to do much, am I right?
It was always going to be that sort of goal that we're going to lose to, wasn't it?
It was.
I think they had about three shots on target or something like that.
It was just shit, to be fair.
And I know we technically had no shots on target, but it makes you sound like
Not
it makes you
technically.
sound but it makes you sound like you haven't created anything. Like, we did have chances. But like Hayden had a shot from range that went over the bar. Is one that I can remember.
Joe Linton, grade one. I think it was outside of his boot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just off his boot.
Things get blocked, they go wide and stuff like that.
Well, I
But
was hung out with Dry on Twitter when I had said that I thought Bruce at least tried to go for it towards the end, putting 4 strikers on. Everyone just hung us, literally hung us, roped a lot.
There's two ways which you can look at
They were
that.
like, zero, how can you go for when you've had 0 shots on target? Yeah, well, Gale missed from a centre.
Well,
That is fault.
and that's what I'm saying. It's this whole thing about stats is, yes, you look at it and you could look at that and say 0 shots on target, they've done nothing. It's not true. We created chances, albeit yes, we didn't hit the target. We still had chances that we created.
I want a yes or a no from you. Andy Carroll, was he lucky to stay on the pitch?
Yes, no, for me, yes.
Yes.
No.
It depends on the day of the week, doesn't it? It's one of those where
That wasn't a yes or no.
But that's it. But you know what it is? One week it's a yes, one week it's a no.
So what did you think, mate? If that was against one of your players,
I've seen them give in.
was it yes or no?
But
He's got his eyes on the ball all the time.
Yeah,
There's not a point at which he looks at his victim and has a block, like he's watching the ball all the way through. He does put his arm out, like, and you can see why Sean Dyche would be a little bit like upset by it, like. But I don't think it is a red card. Like.
that's the one for me. He's not giving an elbow. He's not looking and thinking, I'm backing in or whatever I'm going to do.
I think he could have gone for that. Like, I wouldn't have been angry if he had a.
He could have.
No, that's the thing.
But he's not.
It's not Hayden at Leicester.
That wasn't a send.
No, don't.
It's that class. It's the thing of you can't jump without using your arms.
Yeah, I think it's because it's running in as well as.
And his arm is.
It's the arm
It's away
out.
from his body a little. I know what you mean about you.
But he's not leading with it.
No.
Yes, his arms out, but he's not. You know.
He's not like spread.
Yeah.
I think
It's the swing, isn't it? It's the swing.
But that's how you get your leverage. You've got to get up.
I watched Joshua against Ruiz, and I think that was a better punch than I seen that. I thought it was a better strike, personally.
He's even slagging that off, and that was a fantastic boxing match.
So moving on, we got another chance.
Full of shite.
Once again, Joe Linton runs to the right hand side of the pitch this time. He shoulder barges someone off
I
the
thought that
ball.
was a foul.
He
But
did-
never mind,
did
I'm
he?
good,
Right,
I'm
he
good,
did.
I'm good.
Brilliantly, mind.
He did. Pierce
You know what it is?
did
He
get
slags
it.
him off for not trying hard enough, and when he actually tries and puts himself about, he slags him off for that.
So he did well.
slag
To be
anyone.
fair, I thought the linesman was going to start waving his flag
Yeah, I
like
did as well,
a
Did you
Polaroid
think?
picture.
Did you not think though?
I thought he was just give him
No,
the shoulder.
No, I get what you're saying. But
So
you don't think it's going to be a foul?
It's a great ball in
That
the
did.
box. Let's be honest, fantastic
Brilliant.
ball in the
Great
box.
ball.
Brilliant.
Great. Dwight Gale running at speed. How is he not even hit the target?
I've said it to anyone that's willing to listen. He went with his wrong foot.
I thought that as well.
He went with his left, which is going to force it to the right, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If he goes with his right, he cannot miss.
Yeah.
He cannot miss.
Oh, he's actually got to hit the
How
top
many
of the
times
chest.
have we seen him do that though?
I know he's a bit cold because he hasn't played much. Plus, it was a cold.
It was fucking freezing.
But going with his left foot, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
I don't know why I did that either.
Why did he go with his left foot? He has to score there. I'm sorry.
This is the problem when you're bringing in
Brilliant
players
work
that
from
haven't
Jordan.
played for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Really fantastic.
And they're not even playing reserve.
apparently it
reserve
is.
football.
Wasn't quite as bad as Matt Ritchie's miss last season down
Oh.
there either. Like.
True.
me and Bessie were
Wasn't
talking
foul.
about this. Me and Bessie were talking before you got here that apparently if Gale had scored that, VAR would have ruled it out
Oh,
before the Joe Linton.
There was a foul.
I'd seen that.
Really?
Was Eric Peters that he?
Yeah, I can't
Doesn't
remember.
Eric Peters is their left back,
No
yeah.
surprises. That.
Aye.
We were linked to him for a
I'm
long
only being
time.
honest.
He went to Stoke, didn't he?
Tim Grohl's mate, I would have stole that.
In real time, I thought, foul that. Like.
Apparently the rumours going around where VAR would have ruled the goal out.
Yeah. It was one, I think it was similar to the Carroll thing, in that if it's given you, you'd say, like, maybe it's a bit soft, but you can see it. But if it's not given, you can kind of justify. You can, either way, you can kind of make an
I'm only
argument
being
for
honest
like.
there. If it was against us in Drummond or Williams had been flattened like that, it's a foul. I would have honestly.
You'd be having a go.
Game's gone.
I would have had a go. But
whatever.
still, anyway, fuck VAR. He has to score and let VAR decide that. I'm
it's a good
expecting
point,
people to score from 2 yards out. I'm expecting.
I want to have a special mention for one player. Who do you think I'm going to see?
Mankio.
Fantastic.
Great.
He was great on the right hand side when he
5 out of 10 apparently.
I know.
Finally, right? I give him a 5 out of 10. He was my man of the match all day long.
Not even a 7.
I swear to God, I went past it work and the lad I always gets your Chronicles in, and I went, I'll have a quick look, and I opened it up, and I was like 5. I couldn't believe it, and he gave Longstaff a 6. And I'm sorry, I like Longstaff, but he wasn't. No way.
Mankey was easy, my man.
I think Mankey would probably be the player of the month if you
being decent.
awarding such a thing like.
Oh, maybe Shelby.
He tried.
Just for his goals.
He's done quite well.
Mankey on for me on Saturday was up and down the line as best he could. Yes, I appreciate he wasn't creating much going forward, but bless him, he's fucking trying. Did you think he created more than Natsu did?
Oh,
Because for me, he did. 100%.
When you think of how he was like perceived to be at Sunderland and how when he signed for us, he had a few games and was says, he's shite this bloke. Like the run he's had now, the last half dozen games or so, like it.
It's the same at the end of last season as well, though, isn't it? When he got that run of games, he played well.
It's a toss of a coin at the minute. I'd happily take either playing that right back.
Yedlin gives you a little bit more pace.
Yedlin's going to be my first choice. Yeah. Like, but
probably
he doesn't. I'm saying he hasn't let us down like the times he's came in, like so far this season and the back end of last season, like we've said.
So what? Just before we'll wrap this one up, what you were mentioning there, 4 strikers on the pitch. There's been a lot of criticism towards Bruce because he's literally got 4 strikers on the pitch playing in any position possible. I think Mutu gets put on the right wing. I think at one point, it's basically just hoy anyone on. It doesn't look like there is a game plan. It's like hoy them on, see what happens.
No manager in world football has an idea with 4 strikers in the field. None.
Oh no, of course not.
You're just trying. You're looking at the bench, saying, "I need to make a change. What can I do?"
So your goal down.
Who's going to be the best person to fit into this position?
I've sat and watched Newcastle United. I'm talking 10 years here, if not longer. But we've been losing a game, and we'll do a like for like sub. Longstaff comes on for. Sorry, Longstaff's a bad example. I'm going back years. I'm saying like for like meaning midfielder comes on, midfielder comes on.
Left back was all
for fuck's sake. Get a striker on.
A left back for a centre midfield, a centre back, a right winger.
There's at one point Portugal had 3 left backs on the pitch, wasn't
I remember Norwich away they had 4 full backs across the back.
Speaking of left backs, what did you think of Dummett's handball?
Oh, so yeah, I said penalty all day long. I was sat in the pub there and
right there.
I was sat there, and as soon as I saw it, I went, "That's penalty all day long."
So sorry, let's rephrase this. It's not a penalty.
But VAR calls
But
it
in
penalty.
today's rules and society and life,
I thought it was going to be a penalty, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because there's a Burnley player just behind him waiting to have a shot on target.
Well, there's one in front and one behind, wasn't it?
I thought it was penalty all day long.
It's a funny one because that's the rule that was meant to have been introduced is if it hits a defender's hand in the box, it's a penalty.
Especially it's an unnatural position as well.
But we've seen this in a few games over the last couple of weekends where it's I think Man United game there was 2 in the same game.
It's weird that it's because they've got this thing where if it's a forward that hits his hand and there's a goal that comes because of it, it's disallowed. Yeah. Whereas defenders don't seem to have the same. There was one, I think, the goal against Watford, was it Sher scored it? It apparently come off, I think, Hayden's arm.
Yes.
Even though it's completely innocuous, I think the ball happens to brush his arm. Aye. Whereas defenders don't seem to have that same level of scrutiny applied there. I don't know what to...
Just a comment, sorry, on your 4 strikers, Malarkey, right? Rafa Fax, for example, if you talk about... If Gail could... No, listen. Bruce...
he's back, I forgot he was back attacking you.
You've been quiet for weeks.
It's been back the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
He brought Gail on, right? Gail should have scored, am I correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If Gail scores, Bruce gets all the plaudits because it's a great substitution. True or not?
Margins, isn't it?
That's how fine the game is. Huh? That's how fine the game is. And I appreciate he brought 4 strikers on. For me, I was happy to say it. Hey, if Moot was playing right wing or left wing or wherever. What do you want to do? Put all 4 centre forward on top of each other, on top of Carroll's fucking shoulders? Is that what you want to do? Eh?
might give him a bit of support then.
You've got to, if you've got 4 strikers on, you've surely got to put 4 up front. So you've got 2 up front and then 2 wide. Surely, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure that one out. But if Gail had have scored, well, Rafa Fax wouldn't have been on fucking Twitter giving him any praise. Do you know what I mean? And Gale missed from a yard out, and that's not Bruce's fault. I think anyone says it's one person's fault, and that's Dwight Gale's.
Oh, it's his fault for bringing him on, not giving him enough game time.
Well, maybe, but the bottom line is you're chasing the game 1-0. He's tried to change it. He's tried to bring on as many strikers as we've got.
I don't understand how anybody. I don't understand how
is.
anybody can give him
It's
grief for
ridiculous.
trying to get back into the game.
And to start off, the bottom line is,
There's
what
a
I
way
said
here.
on Twitter was, we've had a lot of players out. Saints out. Well, I'm going to fucking game when Saint hasn't been on the pitch. So Saint's a big miss. Miggy's a huge miss, regardless if he doesn't score or assist or whatever. He's a big miss. Shelby, top scorer, is a huge miss. Lascelles, with captain, is a massive miss. So you're going away from home getting beat 1-0 by a shitty corner that should have never been. Fucking stop crying, man. Get on with it.
On that note, see you all later.
All the best.